Episode 1, Rebirth. The episode starts off with a bunch of establishing shots of the Shinigami realm, conveying just how desolate and decayed it is. The place is actually pretty reminiscent of Wake Mundo, which is interesting given the fact that this is supposed to be the equivalent of Cerete. We see a bunch of humanoid-looking creatures who seem to just kind of be wasting away alongside the place they seem to call home. It just seems like nothing is happening here at all, which is kind of the point, right? It's meant to look like a wasteland, a place you'd never want to visit, let alone live in. We're immediately introduced to Ryuk, who seems to not really care about hanging out with other Shinigami. When asked to come play games with them, he replies with,
"No, I'll pass."
It subtly shows us that Ryuk is kind of fed up with things at this point. We switch to Light in the human world and see that he's in a high school theology class. The teacher has him read this biblical passage, which is supposed to allude to Light's own outlook of what God can do for the world when people put their faith in him. This passage, while subtle, still feels a little bit out of place given the setting. Maybe if he was in a church, but it just seems odd that they're going over scripture in class. But then this is Japan, and maybe that's just how they do things over there. Another thing to note is the fact that there's one kid playing on a Nintendo DS, a couple of girls gossiping about boys, and two other boys in the front of the class blatantly reading some kind of magazine. But for some reason, the teacher decided to call Light out for not paying attention.
Yagami, are you still with us? Can you please translate the following sentence into English?
Like, bitch, what?